Hello, welcome to the Strong Woman series, and I am Charmaine Gregory. You may have heard a couple of my broadcasts in the past where I talk about the Nocturnist Diary and different things associated with that. It is my pleasure today to be able to speak with Kari Cashen. She is hailing all the way from Reno, Nevada, and she is an amazing lady. She is an artist, an adventurer, an entrepreneur, a mom of an amazing little guy, and also a homeschooler. So today we're just going to talk about all the things that make her an amazingly strong woman. Welcome, Kari.
Thank you. Fun.
All right. So you have had some very interesting jobs in your past. Can you tell me what you think was the most challenging of the jobs you've had?
Probably the most challenging was forest firefighting. I was on a hot shot crew for 2 seasons with the Forest Service out in California, and that burns pretty hot.
Okay.
Super physically demanding job, and the kind of job where it basically is mind over matter to get the job done. You have to convince yourself to keep working when you're exhausted, and it's terrifying at times. So you have to just tell yourself to stay there on the hillside, cutting line, and not get out of there. It was pretty burly. And then the fire crews always have this saying, "You're only strong as your weakest link." And so it was always this competition among everyone to not be that guy.
Oh,
because you just didn't want to slow everyone down and have that stigma. So I was always the smallest on the crew, and so I always felt like I had to work a little extra harder just to keep up, let alone maybe be one better. So,
gotcha.
But it was a great job. I certainly got an amazing work ethic experience, and I did that job when I was 22, my first season, and I really appreciated that. I learned that back at that age because it just set the bar for the rest of how I wanted to work in my life. And so after that kind of job, I picked all these other physically demanding jobs because I just really liked the feeling I got of just a sense of accomplishment from something so difficult. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I think all kids should go do that.
Right.
It wasn't so deadly.
Right. What about, so do you feel like that was your most challenging? Do you feel like that one was also your most memorable, or is there another that you feel is more memorable than that one?
Forest firefighting was amazing and memorable just because you saw so many things that you'll never ever see again in your life just because you're out in a forest fire.
Right.
Building a trail essentially is what you're doing. And you just see the craziest stuff. Like probably the most memorable thing I saw in a fire was a fire dust devil, where a dust devil came through and caught up a bunch of burning material, and they have like this ignited dust devil whirling along, which are actually pretty dangerous because they can go into unburned material and start a spot fire.
Oh my gosh.
And then other things were like running from a forest fire. A couple times we had to do this thing called reverse tool order, which means you just get out of there. You turn around, you get out of there down the trail because we were cut off from our crew at one point. 3 of us had been cut off by a fire that burned over the line, and we had to scoot out of there and run down the hill. And it was pretty amazing because it just sounded like you're being chased by a couple freight trains coming through the woods, like the loudest, scariest thing. And I don't know, it was just amazing. Like, just
that just sounds amazing and exciting,
crazy, just
scary, and all of the above.
Right, super scary, but addicting in the sense that, like, I managed to do it, and so I was like, felt so capable in so many other areas of my life after I had done something like that. Like, I would always say to myself when I came up to something difficult after that kind of work, I would say, well, is this as hard as fighting a forest fire? No, I can do it then. Right? I totally set my bar of, like, no, I can do that. So do challenges for that reason, because you'll keep doing cool stuff.
That's right. That's right. Being fearless. There you go. So you have a company. You're an entrepreneur. Can you tell us about that? I understand it's called Danger Box. I'm sure there's a cool story behind the name.
Yes, the Danger Box. I have one behind me. There.
Cool.
I hand build wooden boxes, and I use traditional wooden joinery. Some people call it dovetailing, but it's not really dovetailing. It's tongue and groove where the wood is fit together. So I don't use any hardware to hold my boxes together. I just use a little bit of glue. Okay. And then I thought up this idea for Danger Boxes because my son was around 6 and he had 1 million Legos, and he had this cheap plastic bucket, and I was looking at that thing one day and I said, this bucket is not going to outlast Legos, need to do something. And I was looking around and I happened to look in my office. I'm like, oh, I have the coolest box already. And I have this wooden box from the 40s that was used to, back before recycling, people would just return their soda bottles to the company and they'd rinse them out and clean them out and then refill them with soda and cap them and then take them back in these wooden boxes, these crates, back to the stores. And that's how you did it. And so I have one of these boxes, and it's been in my life since I was really little, and I never really thought much about it. It was just my 7-Up box.
Right.
You know, it's carried my rock collection and my toys, and I took it to college, and I've had it this whole time, and I thought, this thing has lasted forever. I mean, it was old when I got it, and I have not done anything but abuse it, and it's still held up. Why don't I make something like this for Cade for his Legos? And so my boyfriend is really good at woodworking. He's like, yeah, we could totally learn how to make one of those. Here's what you do. And he figured it out for me and taught me how to use all the woodworking tools like table saw and chop saw, and showed me all the woodworking techniques. And I was super excited to learn how to use new tools. I like tools. So yeah, that's how I started. And then where I've been making them is at our local maker space in our town, and they have a laser cutter. And so since I have a graphic design background, I use my design skills to create custom graphics for the box. And so now I laser cut my own designs into the side of the box. I should go get it so you can see it.
Oh yeah, please bring it closer so we can see. Awesome. Wow. I mean, look at the detail on this.
Yeah, it's laser cool. And I design whatever a client wants on there, so they're really custom because these boxes last forever, and I figure it'd be a great gift for someone that, going to college, or that person is really hard to buy for.
Right.
Anyway, it could be really special. And so I started making them like that. And the first one I made was for Cade's Legos. I wasn't even thinking about making money off of it. I'm like, I just need to put these Legos in something better in this cruddy plastic box. And so I made them. The first one I made was a replica of an antique dynamite crate. Yeah. And I found graphics online and redrew them myself. And because my son and I and Kurt, my boyfriend, we do a lot of dirt biking in the desert out here, and there's tons of old mine shafts and empty mining sites. And so we're fascinated with the whole mining history that Nevada has. And so my son at the time was really into just the mining history. And so I'm like, I'm going to make him this fake dynamite box, thinking it might inspire him to pick up his Legos.
Right.
Still hasn't happened.
Oh, no.
It does hold the Legos for the most part. Anyway, so I called it a danger box because, dynamite's dangerous.
No, that's awesome.
The name, it seemed like it would be a name that might pique someone's interest and they inquire about it, like, what the heck is a danger box? So now I say, what's your danger? I'll put your danger on the box. Whatever your danger is, I'll design it for you and put it on the box. So there you go.
That's awesome. I have to say, Kari, that when I came across your page on IG, that was what intrigued me.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was like,
thank you for telling me that.
Like, what is she doing? This is so cool.
Yeah. And now I'm making danger boxes.
There you go. That's
pretty fun. Yeah. I love being able to create for a living. It's really satisfying for me. It's really fulfilling. So.
No, it's great to be able to use your passion and be able to enrich others' lives while at the same time, having a business of your own, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think so you kind of touched on this a little bit. You talked about some of your motivations and, the things that drive you and how you like challenges. And, you definitely push yourself outside of your comfort zone often and rise triumphant at the very end of that. What do you think what are some of the things that motivate you on a day-to-day basis? What do you think?
Oh, on a day-to-day basis. I think the thing that most motivates me and keeps me going is just looking forward to doing those few things that fulfills me, even though I'm totally spread out as far as, homeschooling my son for the first time and trying to make a business and all that. What motivates me to just have a positive outlook every day is just to try and find time to do a couple things that make me feel grounded. And that would be some kind of art, like if I could draw in my journal or do a little watercolor or work on a design for a box, or even just try and come up with some lesson for my son. Hey, you want to learn animation today? Because mom doesn't want to teach math.
Well, hey,
I just sometimes blow out of the groove. So I don't know. I think it's important to just come back to yourself in a little tiny bit every day if you can, at least for me, because if I don't, then I just don't feel grounded. And then I start to just slowly lose it. And so better if I just get to do some art or sports.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So you kind of alluded to dirt biking. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So in the West, I don't know how many people are watching not from the West, but we have a lot of multi-use space, especially in Nevada, because it's the least populated state in the country and there's, basically desert. So when I moved to Nevada, I started riding a dirt bike because it was something I always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like 35. So I started doing that. Anyway, but where I lived when I first moved here was right on the edge of the desert, and there's just tons of trail. And so it just goes out in the desert, and it's just amazing out there. You see all kinds of wildlife. We have antelope and wild horses right just a couple miles from our house, and there's golden eagles and all kinds of red tails, horny toads, and rattlesnakes and bunnies, and just endless stuff, not to mention all the just when you go dirt biking on a trail ride. I don't ride a track, we just ride trails. Okay. There's just always some cool thing out there just laying in the desert, and we like nothing better to do than just everyone stops when they see something interesting. We get out and just go check it out. So there's not too far from here, one of our favorite riding spots has a lot of old tungsten mines, and tungsten was used during World War II mostly to reinforce the bottom of airplanes. This is a super tough metal, and so they were mining out there before that area, and then again during the mid 40s and 50s. So there's all the stuff left over. And it's just fascinating to go out there and get off the dirt bike and just wonder out loud what the heck it was like to be out there in that time, you know?
Right.
It's just amazing. And there's these like wild burros out there that were once part of the mining operations that had either escaped or were freed, and they, you know, they're generations later, they're still out there. It's just crazy to be like, those were once animals in the mines, or it's just crazy. Nevada's cool like that. Like, most people don't think a lot about Nevada because it's just not that beautiful, but I think it is. It's just like, if you get off if you go out, if you make the effort to go out there and just look around, there's just endless fascinating things out there. So that's why we love to dirt bike. And I love just doing a difficult sport as well.
Yes. That old adrenaline.
Right.
Oh man. And then it seems like you've passed on a passion to Cade, huh?
Yeah, he loves it too. Yeah. I think he loves more the exploring aspect of it, and just what are we gonna see this time? There's always something cool, and he likes the fact that there's not a lot of kids that get to go where he gets to go, and so he loves to bring things back and share that with his friends. And when he went to brick and mortar school, we'd make these big art presentations.
Yeah.
Where we do just like a collage, and we glue a bunch of rocks, and he'd draw a map on cardboard, and I don't know, he would do all these great art presentations from whatever he drug back from the desert, and he'd share that in his class, and he gets a big kick out of just sharing knowledge. So I think that's part of dirt biking he likes now. Right now, it's pretty hard for him because he just stepped up to a bike with a clutch. And so before, he just kind of mindlessly like use the throttle and the brake and not really pay attention to a lot of other functions on his bike. And now he has to pull in a clutch and shift, or his bike will stall. So it's currently frustrating for him.
Wow.
Yeah, he's on a steep learning curve. He'd rather not. Like today,
wow.
No, didn't want to go. It was like,
that's awesome. I mean, he has all these exposures that, you know, they're going to build such strong memories for him, which is awesome.
We take a lot of pictures, and we do this annual, sometimes biannual family tradition we made up called the Motos and Mine Chefs camping trip.
Okay.
We do dirt bike camping either once or twice a year, in the fall or the spring or both. And it's total dirt camping. We drive out to some ghost town or a deserted mining area, and we just pitch our tent, and we bring cooler full of ice with all our food, and we just camp in the tent, and we go home when the ice is melted pretty much. So that's our timeline. So every year we put together a big a photo album of our Motos and Mine Shaft trip, and he loves just having, like, you know how you can do those, you can get those books printed online, like Blurb or
like Shutterfly or one of these other ones.
Right. So we just do an actual bound book. So
that's
legit.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, he has tons of great memories.
No, that's pretty amazing. Definitely. So speaking of Cade, and you did allude to this as well, homeschooling. How did that adventure begin, and how's it going? And are you going to continue?
Oh yeah, those are good questions. It began second grade. I pulled him out of our public school less than a mile away because so crowded down here that he. Oh, hi Vanessa. He was basically checking out of the lesson to just, I guess, deal with the noise level and the chaos in the classroom. So I guess I'm not giving you the right word for it. I guess he was just going into his own little world, and he was reading under the desk for second grade or at one point, and he was missing his lessons. And so I realized I needed to effect a change for him for the next year because that wasn't working. And so I took him to I enrolled him at a charter Montessori in town, and that was fine for third grade. But fourth grade, it was mixed, fourth, fifth, sixth grade in the same classroom.
Okay.
And that was not good because there's quite a bit of bullying from the older kids. So I ended up pulling him out in winter after trying to work with the school for a while, but it just wasn't getting any better. And, you know, my son was crying just about every other day as he walked to the car. And I was waiting to pick him up, and it was just horrible. And he wasn't learning much because he was under duress from just stressed out being bullied.
Right.
So I'm like, well, my good friend Tiffany is homeschooling her 3 kids, and always admired what she was doing, and just her children are amazing. And I was following quite a few homeschoolers, or I am following on Instagram, and just checking out how people do it. And I just figured, well, this is kind of my only choice at this point, and my friend's here to help me, and I just went for it. And it was funny because at the time before I pulled him out of the Montessori, I had already started the process to get him enrolled at the K-12 public online option. You can go do a public school, but online, and they send you everything.
Yeah.
And so there was like this happy accident where they just admitted him without me like clicking the final okay. They're like, he's enrolled, and he was yeah. And they like right. And they had sent me all the materials, like all these boxes showed up. I'm like, what's going on? Like, so I was like, well, we're done. And so that I remember, never forget. It was like that Wednesday, and he had come to the car again. He was crying. I said, what happened? And he told me these kids were just straight up just teasing him on purpose to watch him cry. And I just,
oh my gosh, that is so heartbreaking.
I just looked at him and I said, as I drove away, I said, what would you say if I told you this is your last day at that school? He's like, he just broke down. He was so relieved that I got it, right? And was listening, and I was actually taking action on his behalf. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, we got all the stuff, so tomorrow we're starting.
Let's do it.
Whatever's in the living room, right?
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty seamless as far as the transition. I'm like, okay. So it's been intense, though, because my son, even though I love him tremendously, he's not an easy child. He's very stubborn. He's very intelligent. He's very sensitive. And so there's a lot of, he likes to negotiate. You know,
all signs of a gifted child. You realize that.
I don't do math. And
I'm like, headbutting. That's usually
right. And so I had to like figure out my repercussion system, and I had to figure out, and he's not organized at all, and I had to figure out how to help him with that. And so it was cool because I got to call upon my creativity to solve a lot of these things, like one after another, while trying to educate him.
Right.
My repercussion solution was, okay, if you talk back again, you're going to go run a lap.
There you go. There you go.
So you'd have to go, and it was great because, like, he'd go, I make him actually run 2 laps around our cul-de-sac. He'd come back, and he didn't know he didn't have to sprint. So of course, he's all sprinting, because he's going to show me. Better. He's like, so he like comes back. He's like exhausted. I'm like, all right, are you ready to do math? Yes. All the fight was.
Oh, hello. Hashtag mom win.
Hey, I'm like, that's pretty good. And then one time he found $10 out there, so he's like, all right.
Wow, so he's like, let me go out there again. I want to try that again.
Reward system. But so it's been intense because I think as parents, and especially as homeschooling parents, where homeschooling is kind of this gaining in popularity, but still slightly outside the norm as far as, it's like a kind of this new option people are doing, and it's not standards. And so as homeschooling parents, I think we all second guess ourselves a lot. And so that has been difficult for me because I'll just lay in bed at night going, oh, did I make the right decision? Is he going to learn? Is he going to pass fourth grade this year? Like, am I torturing him, or am I too easy on him, or am I just doing this so we can go like ride bikes? Because I decided Friday we'd take off to go do other stuff. So like Friday we ski or we go dirt biking or bicycling and.
Well, you know what that's called, right? It's called phys ed, isn't it? That's phys ed. I guess Friday's your phys ed day.
That's right. So anyway, it's been intense, but I would really like to try to do this thing till the wheels fall off.
Oh man,
I got some funny friends out there.
Yes, I'm looking, and I'm like, wow, I'm not sure I want to put that comment up there. I'm not sure what it means exactly.
Certain people trying to get me going.
Oh goodness gracious!
But we're almost done. I think we're gonna wrap up the school year like next week. So
okay, sweet.
Yeah, he's doing good. I know he's definitely feels a lot better about himself and his safety, and I know he's learned a ton despite me wanting to cause. But it's been great because it's just what an opportunity, it's just an opportunity, and I'm gonna try and do it as long as I can because I just see it as an opportunity.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's hard. Like, I'm also like his friend at recess. I'm the lunch lady. I'm his politics. Right.
You're everything.
Yeah.
Oh, now. So, do you know this person, Tom? Do you know Tom?
Yes, I know Tom.
Okay, because Tom thinks that we had too much wine.
Yeah, he's gonna keep commenting along that line.
Really? Oh man. Fair enough.
Oh,
awesome.
My friend Vanessa, she was homeschooled too. She was telling me that not too long ago.
Oh, she personally was homeschooled?
She was, back before it was,
before it was the rage?
Before the rage, yeah. She's a super cool chick. Yeah.
Awesome. So, the last thing that I wanted us to talk about was how do you're an adventurous person, you are an artist, you're a businesswoman, you're a homeschooler, you're an amazing mom. How do you wrap all of this up and have a healthy lifestyle on top of that?
Oh, I get up at 4:40.
Oh, wow.
And we started school at 8, and everyone is up at like 7:30ish.
Okay.
So that's the only time I could get it in. And during this homeschool year, I was going to the gym every day, 4:40, lifting weights and doing cardio during that time. And then just started to realize I couldn't go as much as I wanted to because I didn't have enough left in me.
Okay.
The dog came in. And so I just didn't have enough to give for the rest of the day for whatever else I needed to do. So I had to start tapering it off. But definitely eating healthy has been saving me because that's everything. You know what I mean? Like if you drink water and eat the chicken and eat the sweet potato and some coffee.
Yeah, that's right. You got to have some coffee in there.
But yeah, I wasn't actually eating healthy for a long time. I've always been athletic and I always have done some kind of fitness. I did a lot of running for a lot of years, and I used to live in Truckee, which is near Lake Tahoe, and I do a lot of trail running just out my door and just took advantage of where I was at. And now, though, a couple years ago, I was decided to train for a bodybuilding competition because, well, a friend of mine and her husband said they were going to do it, and then asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes. And then 3 days later, they decided not to do it, but I decided to keep going for it.
Oh no!
That's okay. And so I trained for 13 months to be in a bodybuilding competition. It was a figure event, which is not bikini, so it's a little more muscular. Okay. And I wanted to do it because the challenge wasn't in the actual athletic aspect of it, but it was in the fact that I had to wear a bikini and get way outside my comfort zone because I am not super feminine by appearance, and or I don't dress that way. And so I would have to get in this bikini and learn to walk in these high heels, which were like stripper high heels. This is what you have to wear for these things.
Who knows? I'm like,
You can find those in Reno. Stripper heels. There's a store down the street. So anyway, that was my main focus. Was like that was the hard thing for me, was like doing this feminine stuff and learning you have to do this certain walk and everything and poses, and that was totally challenging for me. And so anyway, during that endeavor, I learned how to eat really well for bodybuilding. And that's a lot of protein, not a whole lot of carbs at the end, definitely low sugar. You gotta like figure out your macros, like how much fat, protein, and carbohydrates you're gonna eat per day or every couple hours to get where you want to be in these little increments of time on your journey. Yeah. So it was really cool to finally learn how to eat healthy. And I didn't even think I didn't eat that healthy before. I just got away with it because I'd go and run. Right. Be like, all right. And so I was always kind of fit looking, but turns out when you switch up your nutrition to, I don't know, eat for muscle, basically, then it really changes your whole body. It changes your whole physique, for sure. It was a huge transformation. So that was cool. And I really enjoyed learning to eat well. And so I've kept that, and I'm now making my family eat like that.
There you go.
Because I do the grocery shopping.
That's right. I have the power. No, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, well, Kari, I am so happy that you decided, I shouldn't say decided, but I kind of pushed you a little bit. Please
reminded me.
please come on the show. No, I really appreciate you saying yes, and it has been a pleasure talking with you in this venue. And I hope that all of our friends that are watching are inspired by you and your story and everything that you have to offer, and will walk away with a little piece of happiness as a consequence of this show. Oh, so I thank you so much for being.
You're welcome. It was fun. Thank you.
And you are definitely a fearless lady.
Oh, well, I don't know, but I'm fearful a lot. I just choose to pick up a little bit of courage and keep going anyway. I don't know.
But that's fearlessness. That's fearlessness. Recognizing it and pushing through, regardless.
Right. Yeah. Right. Life's too short.
That's the truth. That is so true. All right. So what I'll do is, as well, do you want me to put your or do you have a link that you want us to want to share for the danger boxes?
Sure. Do you want me to type it in the chat?
Yeah, type it in the chat.
It's dangerboxshop.com if you want to order one.
That would be awesome.
Or just email me if anyone knows my email. But yeah, if you go on the website, there's a gallery of past designs I've created, so you get an idea of what people have ordered, and then you could get a better idea what the box options are. I have cedar and pine, and then I do a half-size box. So if you want one, yeah,
great.
I'll have time to make them this summer.
There you go.
Thanks.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was cool. People showed up to watch and like comment.
Yeah. No, and it is really cool. I mean, the backstory behind all of this, which we haven't divulged really, but we had some technical difficulties. So yeah. I am like even more happy that this actually went through. Yes, indeed.
We persevered.
Sure did. All right. All right. Have a good night.
Thanks
you too,
for
everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.